What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Fox Weather exclusive ROWI forecast. The risk of weather impact for certain sports across the weekend threshold. And we're talking about a slew of games in the MLB. Obviously, we're getting through the end of July at this point, and weather could definitely be a factor. So what is the ROWI? The risk of weather impact. ROWI is really a scale that we're using to base what we're going to think the outcome of the game could be. You're talking about how weather is going to affect each game individually, including things like baseball. I mean, we're going to go from inning to inning, the mid-innings, the early innings, the late innings. You could see the rain come in, mess up half the game, and the other half is going to be just fine. Baseball also, you look at things like temperature. I mean, a warm, humid atmosphere is going to make that ball travel even more than a cold one. So we're going to look at those temperatures. And the winds, obviously, major factor, not to mention if rain comes in and spoils the entire day. So we'll look at that coming up. First games first, though. Let's get to this one. How about Dodgers traveling to Boston for the Red Sox? The reeling Dodgers. Now, they're not as spectacular as what was advertised, but obviously it could be just a blip. They've got a great powerhouse line of sluggers that are going to be going through the ranks. But we're watching for this. Right now, Boston's not too bad. They're 53-45. They're ranked third in the AL East at this point. But Boston, you definitely cooled off just a little bit since the All-Star break. Headed into the All-Star break, they ripped off 10 straight wins. Right now, they've lost, 5 out of the last 6. So we'll see if they can bounce back there. It's probably just a blip. I mean, they have to restart themselves for sure. But the Dodgers are looking to add to their 4-game lead in their division. So, yeah, they want to win these games, especially on the East Coast. So you're watching for that. Dodgers batting average, by the way, second best in the league, 255. How good is that? And you got some of the hottest hitters out there. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani. No need to even mention him. He's fantastic. But Will Smith holds the second highest batting average in the MLB right now. He's sitting at 325. I mean, my goodness, that is fantastic for him. Other than that, we got Boston Red Sox. They are looking to get back on track after they're disappointing 1-5 since the All-Star break. I mean, listen, it's not that great, especially since you're talking about being 10 games with a win streak right before the All-Star game started. But now you're 1-5. So we'll see where you go. But you head into the All-Star break. You guys were hot. I'm assuming you're going to get back in there. Boston Red Sox, you got that brand new rookie, Roman Anthony. He's batting .256 with 2 homers and 14 RBI since he debuted with the team. I mean, that's pretty good. So let's get to the forecast. Friday night's game. You got some big thunderstorms are going to be rattling through New England on Friday afternoon. Game time's a little bit after 7 o'clock. I think it's going to be just fine. I think everything's going to clear out before that pitch is going to be thrown. That's going to be good. Saturday, no issues. But Sunday's forecast, here you go. Rain and storms comes back in for the Red Sox against the Dodgers in Boston. 78 degrees or so at the first pitch. But again, thunderstorms starting to develop in here. So that is a medium ROWI right off the bat for the first few innings. Watching for the pockets of rain developing, and they could get a little more widely scattered throughout the game. So by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, temperatures remaining into the mid to upper 70s. But that is a medium ROWI for you guys. So watching for rain to be a definite factor out here, along with that gusty wind. So you're watching for that. I think the weather is going to affect this game for the Dodgers against the Red Sox. That is going to be a weather-impacted game. So keep that in mind, especially on Sunday afternoon. All right, let's head out to the Cleveland Guardians playing the Kansas City Royals. That is a Saturday Fox game as well. That's a pretty pivotal one right here. 92 degrees and hot out there for most of the weekend. Cleveland Guardians are having a solid season, man. These guys are pretty good right now. They're only 1.5 games behind the division leader, and the Guardians have a strong bullpen. That's anchored by closer Emmanuel Clase. He has 40 saves on the season already. Man, as a Yankee fan, I'm pretty much jealous of that. So there you go. That game looks like you're going to see some hot conditions out there in Kansas City. I mean, you guys have already seen flash flooding. You've seen the heat advisories turn over to excessive heat warnings. Temperature's going to fall down just a little bit for your game day, though. It doesn't look quite as bad. You're talking about that Friday night game after a wicked hot work week. These temperatures are going to start coming back down to earth just a little bit, especially for game time. So into the low 80s, which is still relatively warm, even for this time of year. But that is a low ROWI for you at 7 o'clock. Low ROWI at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Temperatures falling down to about the low 80s to upper 70s by the end of that game. That's what it looks like right there on Friday. Saturday, we've got a medium ROWI, and it's only because it's going to be smoking hot. Those temperatures start to build back in. That ridge of high pressure that moved away comes right back starting for the latter part of the weekend, Saturday through Sunday into Monday. So those temperatures are only going to build. Look at your daytime high out there, 91 degrees at 6 p.m. But you add the humidity, and it's a broken record. It's going to feel like over 100 degrees. That is a medium ROWI at 6 o'clock. That's for that game right there. At 7 o'clock, you don't cool down much. I mean, sun's going to start to set by about 8 o'clock or so. Temperatures start to fall back. But it's a medium ROWI for the 6 and 7, and then the latter innings, it gets back down to low. And that is simply because of the heat that's going to be in place. So that is going to be one of those games. Those balls are going to travel. Are you talking about balls can get an extra 15, 20 feet because of the hot air mass that's going to be overhead, and it's going to be humid as well. All right, let's head back up to the Yankees and the Phillies. Here we go. Yankees are coming into Friday's matchup against the Phillies, leading the MLB in home runs hit. They've got 160. And I was at that Braves-Yankees game last Saturday. I saw Volpe hit 2 home runs. We were sitting there. It was back-to-back, back-to-back. It was 8-8 in the top of the ninth, 2 outs, and Grisham smacks a grand salami. It went right past my nose into the right field. It made the lead 12-8 at that point. Yankees held on 12-9. That was a tremendous game. I mean, it was home run filled. Expect this game to be about the same. The powerhouse offense is being led by Aaron Judge, who currently sits with the number 3 spot in that home run race. He has 36 home runs already. I expect to see more pop up later this weekend for sure. Yankees are currently sitting about 4 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays, where they just lost 2 out of 3 to them. So not so great as a Yankee fan right there. Philadelphia Phillies, on the other hand, you guys are smoking hot. You guys are leading your division. I mean, Kyle Schwarber, I know you watched him in the home run derby. He had a bunch of hits that were going out there. 3 home runs on 3 pitches in the All-Star swing-off at the end of the game. Basically, that's the home run derby at the end of the All-Star game. How awesome was that? That swing-off. That was fantastic. Well, what about the weather forecast? Friday, we're going to get some pockets of rain, some thunderstorms. It looks like it'll be the first part of the afternoon. By the evening, it looks okay. Then you're coming in Friday evening, 87, 85, and 83. These are all low ROWIs. Now, you've got the storms that have already gone through on Friday afternoon. It looks like the early afternoon to mid-afternoon hours for that cold front that's going to pass through the Bronx. Before that happens, though, if you're traveling to the game, excessive heat warnings all across the region from northern Jersey down to Philly with a heat advisory for the Bronx. You're seeing the temperatures going to feel like about 99 to 102 for that afternoon, but that cold front goes by, and it should usher in some slightly cooler air and a little drier for that game. So that looks actually not that bad. Saturday, it's a low ROWI as well. You're looking at mid-80s. It's going to be a nice day at the ball field. Yankee Stadium's going to be rocking, 85, 86, 87. Low ROWIs, which means I'm not anticipating this weather to affect this game whatsoever. Sunday, we do have the thunderstorms moving back in. Just like up in Boston, it's going to be happening in the mid to late afternoon hours. You can see what we're going for right here. Medium ROWIs at 1 o'clock. First pitch a little bit after 1. Thunderstorms are going to be all across the board from Philly right through New York into Boston, including the Bronx. You're talking right up there. 87 degrees. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. 2 o'clock, same thing. Scattered pockets of rain, and they're only going to fill in more by the latter part of the game. So the late innings, you might see a postponement or a delay. We'll see. The thunderstorms are going to be hit or miss, but if they're right over you, man, that is going to delay that game. So medium ROWIs across the board. That is for your Sunday afternoon game with the Yankees. Chicago Cubs at the White Sox, man. The battle for Chicago. Looking at rain chances peaking out there on Saturday with thunderstorms, and they're going to be early, and it's going to bring that high ROWI out there for you guys. So that game definitely affected by the weather coming in. So Friday night, scattered showers, pockets of rain. I think low ROWI at this point. Most of it should be done by that Friday afternoon, and the Friday evening pitch looks like it'll be okay. But then you get back in towards Saturday, and here you go, Saturday night, pockets of rain, some thunderstorms. These could be on the severe side also. So that's a high ROWI. That marks it out right there. Notice that red. You never want to see that, especially you got tickets to go down to south side of Chicago. You're going to see the pockets of rain develop. They're going to be strong, heavy rainmakers. I mean, there you go. And it looks like that's going to last right through the evening hours. 80s, your temperatures fall back, but it goes from a high ROWI to a medium to a medium. It's all because of the storm action. So that's something we're watching for sure. All right, what about the IndyCar races? Fox has got it again on Sunday. The race is at 3 p.m. Award sliced 30 points off of Pallou's series lead in last weekend's Ontario Honda Dealers Indy Toronto. With a combination of his victory, he won, and Palou came in 12th place. So he picked up some points right there. In fact, Palou can virtually clinch the series, though, with a strong showing this time and the next week. So listen, he's not out of it. I mean, Palou came in 12th, and he's still leading the series big time. How much is that? I mean, this guy's a great driver right here. This is going to be the 28th time the sport staged right in there. Let me try that again. This will be the 28th time the sport has staged a race in the picturesque hills of Monterey, California. Gorgeous weather out there. Now, you're always with that marine layer with the fog that comes in by the afternoon hours. Usually, it washes away. But this is a low ROWI weight race for you. Look at this, 62 degrees at noon, 64 and a low ROWI coming at about 1 o'clock, and those temperatures should level off in the mid-60s. So that looks pretty good out there for the IndyCar race out in Monterey, California. Beautiful conditions. I mean, if you get any kind of rain out there, it hoses you. Obviously, they got to shut the whole thing down. Not going to happen. All Palou has to do is hold on to the wheel. And if he wins, man, he could almost clinch the entire series race. How great is that? All right, that's your forecast, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy the MLB stuff. Yeah, some weather's going to be affecting some teams out there. Boston, the Yankees, Chicago. Lots of thunderstorm action. It's typical for late July, right? But how about this? Our ROWI forecast, MLB and IndyCar, coming up pretty soon. It's all about the NFL as well. That's starting up quickly. And then the countdown to college football, we're less than a month away. Farmageddon in Ireland. Iowa State against Kansas State. That's in less than a month. We'll have that ROWI for you for sure. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. I'm meteorologist Bob Van Dillen.